How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Before I Forget. This is my YouTube channel inspired by my Instagram channel, 1985 Road Dog. If you haven't checked out my Instagram, check it out. You'll see all the pictures of my life in music. First as a fan and then as somebody that worked in the music business. And the Instagram channel inspired this YouTube channel, which is kind of like the stories behind the photos kind of thing. But it's expanding more and more as I go on. People have been really good at corresponding with me and asking me questions. And in this chapter, we're going to talk about playing gigs for a new band. I've heard from a lot of people that have bands or want to start bands, or how do you get started? What do you do? How does it all work? How do I get attention for myself? How do I get a gig? So all I can speak on is my experience as somebody that grew up in the nightclub world. I promoted a lot of shows over the years at Limelight and Rock and Roll Church days. I've managed a band or two. I've road managed bands. But I really grew up in the nightclub world and the venue world. And I can only speak on, how it was back in the day. And I really believe a lot of the methods that I used then, or that promoters used then, can still be used today to attract attention to yourself. The main thing is you've got to find a venue that's willing to work with you. Somebody that will let you play, once a month, and really take the entire month to build that gig and promote it and make it happen and get a crowd. If you can get a venue that's willing to work with you, give you the first Friday or the first Saturday of every month, and you throw a party, basically. In my experience, a successful party, a successful event is not necessarily just about the band or the musician. What you do is, you involve lots of people into this event every month. Could be dancing girls in cages, like Limelight had girls that danced in cages, which was a big attraction. You involve a good DJ to play the party. You involve, any kind of creative people that can get involved in the event and bring people to the party. That's the key. The more people involved, the more people promoting, the more people that are going to be at the event. So if you can find a place in your hometown that'll work with you, and you can do a party once a month, and over time, if you can build that party to where it's packed and sold out and you can't put any more people in the door because there's no more room, that's how you get attention. It's a different world today. Years ago, you had record companies that really got behind an act and put money behind an act and pushed that act to be big stars and to be successful and sell millions of records. So you don't have that machine pushing you anymore. And even when you did have the machine pushing you, you still needed to get noticed. And, the surefire way to get noticed was to sell out a room in your hometown on a regular basis. So, and the only way you're going to do that is not by just playing a gig and you're the band and you're going to draw people. Yes, you can probably draw some people. But to really make an event that is going to be sold out with people waiting online to get in, it takes a lot more than just the band. You need to involve all these different aspects of promotion and entertainment into this, make it into this party. It's something that you have to feel in your gut. What works in your town? What works? Who's out there? In the past, I've done events and I just kept stacking stuff on top of things. You'd have the band, then you'd have the DJ, then you'd have the dancing girls. Then you had a guy that was kind of like an illusionist that would breathe fire and swallow swords. You do that on stage on intermission between acts. We'd always involve a liquor company or a beer company to give away T-shirts or drinks or raffles. If you can get in a radio station involved and let them give away some tickets, you just do everything you can. You involve as many people as you can into this event. And if everybody promotes it, I mean, years ago, we didn't have the social media. You made little flyers, little cards, little handouts, and that's how you promoted. It was handouts and word of mouth. Today, you have social media. So if you have 20 different people involved in creating this event, and each of those people promote it, and then the people on their sub-levels promote it, and you've got an event happening. It's not just a band on a stage. It's the band and the DJ and the fire breather and the dancing girls and the beer company and the liquor company and the local cool retail clothing store is going to do a raffle for a leather jacket. And that's how you do it. You put as much as you can together to create a party. The band is just part of the party. So if you can get noticed that way and have an event that people are talking about that sells out every time, then the band and the musician and the music will get noticed along with the party. You have to create an event for yourself. And I've heard from people that are like, yeah, no one wants to let us play. It's all this type of music and we can't get a place. You find a place. When people tell you no, you find a place that'll say yes. It might not be in the hippest, coolest part of town. It might not be, where people normally go to. But in my experience in nightlife and in night world, people will go wherever there's a party. If there's something cool happening and the happening party is this party, and it's not in the normal cool part of town or hip part of town, it doesn't matter. If it's happening, the people that are into the night world and the nightlife scene will find it. And that's what it's all about, is creating something so exciting that people are just going to go. Because it's not just the band. It's all of these little pieces put together to make a happening event. In the golden days of Limelight, in the early and mid-90s, Limelight was the name of the nightclub. And each night was a different party. Sundays was Rock and Roll Church. Wednesdays was Disco 2000. Thursdays was the techno night. Sundays was the lack of a better term, the gay night. So every night was a party. And it was up to the promoters and the people throwing the party to pack the club. Limelight was a big club. You put 2,000, Limelight could hold an easy 2,000 people. So to get 2,000 people in a club regularly, week after week, you've got to keep topping yourself. You've got to book bands. You've got to book crazy acts. You've got to do crazy, crazy events, and just make it the happening party, the happening thing. And then the band kind of tags along. It's part of getting attention to making attention, creating excitement, so you attract attention to yourself as a musician and as a band. And what the band plays on stage is important. And how long you play. You never want to play more than 30 minutes. I don't care who you are, 30, 35 minutes at the most. No one can take a band more than 30, 35 minutes unless you're, a big band with, platinum albums and stuff. No one really is going to sit through an hour and a half of unknown music. So you do a 30, 35 minute set. That's all you need. You go in, you knock them dead, and you get out. You don't drag it on, and, it's not a concert. It's not your concert. It's a party, and you're part of the party. If you can figure out what I'm saying and make that happen in your hometown and do it regularly, consistently, and build a crowd that's like, I got to get there early or else it's going to sell out. If you can do that once a month in your hometown, you'll create excitement around the party and around the music and around the band. And you use that as a springboard to other things. Then you get to a point where, they're looking for a local opening act for a big major talent that's coming through town. And, you get an opening slot because you're part of this successful party. All the club owners and the venue owners and the promoters, all they really care about is the bottom line, which is making money. The club owner wants to make money. The venue owner wants to make money. So if you as a band and as an artist are part of this successful series of parties once a month, then they start looking to you to open up for bigger acts that come through town, or, that kind of thing. I always used to say to bands, well, we want to go out and play here and we want to go out and play there and we want to travel around, but what's that going to get you? It's not going to get you much. You're going to tour in a van for a couple months. You're going to sell some t-shirts and CDs, and then what? But if you can be big in your hometown, to be part of an event and a party that is a sellout every time it happens, once a month, if you can get involved in that scene, you're going to attract attention. Then you start, the word starts getting out, the hottest party in Austin or Nashville or Atlanta or wherever you're from. Once a month, this party, which is called, you name the party, you've got to be at this party because it's just the hottest party in town. That's what it's all about, man. You've got to create your own excitement. And if people say no, you find somebody that'll say yes, and you work with them, and you involve as many creative people as possible to create this ultimate party in your town once a month. And if you can do that consistently, you'll get noticed. I don't know what'll happen once you get noticed. That really depends on the quality of the band, the talent of the music, and the songwriting and all that. So if you got the goods, the party will help you get noticed. Without the party, you're just streaming music on streaming platforms and you're going to play some gigs around and, there's 20 people there and it doesn't do anything for you. Make a scene and let your band be a part of the scene, not the whole scene. That's the crucial part. Find the creative people to work with, people that are enthused and excited about what you're doing, and they'll naturally help you build it all because they're excited about it like you are. It's always important to find people that are excited. Find your tribe. Find the people that are willing to get behind you and help you push it. That's how I always did it. Anytime I promoted a show, I would always stack as much stuff as I could on top of things. In the golden days of record companies, it'd be a record release party for, the new album from so-and-so, and the record company would give you some CDs to give away, and you'd raffle off a leather jacket or a guitar, and then you had the dancing girls, and you had the liquor promotion and the beer promotion and the sword swallower and the whatever. You just keep building it. So it doesn't matter what's going on. It gets to the point where it's so big and so happening that people go. And then, like I said, if your music and your talent is there, you'll get noticed. But I heard from a lot of people, I still hear from people that are like, how do I get started? What do I do? That's the best way, man. If you're not big from your hometown, if you can't sell out venues in your hometown, you're not going to get noticed, to me. And the easiest way to do that is to build a party around yourself. It's not about the band. It's about the party. You're part of the party. So I hope that helps you guys. I'm willing to talk to anybody online if you've got questions or you need some advice or whatever. I've promoted a lot of shows. I've booked a lot of shows. I've seen a zillion bands. I've seen what works, what doesn't work. And what worked in 1980 and what worked in 1990 still can work today. It's just you've got to figure out how to make it work for yourself, for your type of music in your hometown. Thanks for listening. 1985 Road Dog is my Instagram. Check it out if you haven't. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.